What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 5 different Grayscale trusts in this video today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it. We've got GXLM, ZCSH, LTCN, BCHG, and Mana, all at the request of Cal, Honey Hassan, and Tony P. If that sounds good to you guys, hit the like button, subscribe, let's get into it. Here we are sitting at about $45.26 right now on GXLM. Daily RSI looking pretty fierce, actually looking very fierce. I like these higher lows that you've got going on here. Finding support maybe at the 50 could be what you're doing here. You have started the week off to a bit of a rough start, but that's okay. I don't think that you go too much lower. You're just finding support at previous areas of resistance and support is my thought. If you were to go lower, the lowest that I think you would go would be like 41.88. I don't even think you go to your 382. I think you're in the midst of a consolidation phase that is about to break you out of these high areas here. So I would think, truthfully, whether you go down or up or whatever, like in the immediate terms, you've got a lot higher prices to go. I would think, you're at 45.26 right now. I would think that by the end of January, you're likely up at these areas. By the end of the year, you could even be worth $109, let alone by the end of January, because I would expect, it's the 17th, right? Or it is the 17th. Tomorrow will be the 18th. For XLM on this chart, it actually says it's the 18th now, but for the stock days, it is still, because it's in America, it is still the 17th for most people. Likely Christmas week, starting sometime by the end of this week or going into next week, and definitely to finish out the year, we're going to see some kind of bullish move up that I think would take us above these highs, and I would think would get us above these highs too in a very short amount of time. So by the end of the year, you're at 45 bucks now. I would expect you're above 70 bucks. You could be all the way up here by the end of the year, but let's say maybe by the end of January you're up at $109, potentially as high as 197. And I know that sounds crazy, you guys, but GXLM has a lot of, I think, catching up to do in comparison to XLM, and it could come in the forth of just insane, come in the form of insane growth at about $200. I don't think you're going to see that price, but it should be mentioned nonetheless, $200 by the end of January. Likely, I think you're going to be somewhere between about 140 and 110, but something above 100 by the end of January. You're at 45 bucks now. Looking like if you move down at all, it's going to be insignificant. You've really got upside on the brain is what it is. So the 3 hour might suggest that you go a little bit lower. I don't know, though. It also, there's good things going on about it too. If you go lower, I'm going to keep it at that. If you go lower, just barely, man, just barely. The lowest that I'd see you going to, again, let's see, hold on, 41.88. That's the lowest I see you going. All right, that's GXLM. Let's look at ZCSH, Zcash here. ZCSH finding support at previous areas of resistance. Nothing wrong with this chart at all. Daily RSI looking like it's at an area, higher lows coming in. It is breaking out of this structure a little bit, kind of, right? But maybe not. If you bring these lows down here, you connect these lows like this, you're kind of like right. You're basically doing what this low did over here, and you're at an area you found support before. You don't really respect your 50, so finding support just below your 50 might make more sense. Let's look at the 3 hour. 3 hour all the way down to the oversold zone, finding support there. If you move lower, maybe down to that $5.30 area, maybe, but looks like you reached for it yesterday and you couldn't quite get there, right? You made a move down with decreasing volume. I can't help but think you're at your wit's end here. I think that you're going to move up, man. Low to high. 382 bounce, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. If I saw that alone would have made me confident you're bouncing, man. From a high to a low here, I would expect to see an extension off of this move. Likely you're going to move up to about 14.26 to 21.74, if not higher. And I do apologize that that heater keeps turning on. I'm not gonna go turn it off right now. I normally have a remote, actually. My wife took it because she likes it on and I like to turn it off. But anyways, it probably does move up. I would think for ZCSH you're at 610. By the end of January, ZCSH could really be worth like 14.26 or higher. Right, that's my expectation, because again, same kind of logic with GXLM is that once you break above this high, it's just a matter of time before you break above this high. I would think by the end of December you're already above this high. So if you've got all of January to go through, we got these very bullish kind of effects coming in on January, right? I would think that not only would you see 14.26, but potentially higher than that. Not higher than 22. I don't think you do go higher than 22. That'd be a lot of growth in a short amount of time. Not that you're incapable of it. I'm just not sure if you do, right? I would more rather call for this zone, and if we get hit with a God candle that takes you up to 40 bucks, let's just be pleasantly surprised with that, right? But let's keep our feet on the ground and try not to get disappointed. I think something between 14.26 to 21.74 is more appropriate. That's not disappointing at all, is it? You're at $6.10 over the next month and a half. I mean, that's the target area. So if you move lower, insignificant amounts. You probably don't move lower. Today was the low. I think that this right here, you're moving up, bear trap, moving on up. Like literally, it's perfect. I mean, let's see. I guess we can't really. There's nothing really. I mean, kind of like this actually, but to the down effect, right? Down, bull trap, and then further down, right? Up, bear trap. You see, it's like the exact same kind of move, right? It's like literally the exact same kind of prospecting move there. I wonder if this is probably at its 618, not its 382 though. Yeah, it's 618 there, but whatever. Anyways, guys, I think it's going to move up. If it moves down, barely any at all. I think that was its low. Up, up, up we go. ZCSH, there's that. Let's look at LTCN now. I heard this one had a bad day. Or no, was it? Maybe it was BCHG that had a bad day. You opened up to the downside. What did Litecoin do today? It did move down today, didn't it? No, it moved up. It started the day down and then it moved up, wasn't it? Yeah, it had a close 6.4%. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice actually. Nice bullish close. When did that close come in? 17. So for me, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon at the start of a new day. So 5 o'clock, 4, 3, 2, 1. It would have been intraday with LTCN, which is probably why it came back up. Okay. So yeah, LTCN is just consolidating still, right? I mean, it's breaking out. I think that this move here was a breakout of this overall phase. I think it was. And now what you're doing is you're consolidating in this breakout. It seems like you're just consolidating in the same range still, and maybe you are. But I think what you did here is you back tested this range. You just like basically back tested the area that you broke out from, right? And you're going to go higher. And maybe you're not back testing the area you broke out from. I don't know. Like however you want to, you could still be in this parallel range going up. That's fine. But what you really did was you reached for your 618, your golden ratio. You couldn't even get there. That's actually a bullish thing. From a low point here, not only did you not get there, but if we take a horizontal line here at these lows and we go back over here, you tip that line right there perfectly. So finding support right above your golden ratio, right at that horizontal line, area of support, finding support there. The last time you found support here, you went all the way up to 25 bucks, and I can guarantee you if you do the same thing now, you're going above that high, it's not going to stop there, right? It's probably not going to stop there. So let's just see. Right, again, the last time you found support here, you went up above 25 bucks. It took some time. I don't think it'll take as much time this time around. High to low, yeah. You're not going to stop at 25 bucks. You're going to stop at 27 to 31 bucks, and that's probably where you'll be like Christmas week, if not like obviously. I think by the end of the year, yes, but I would think by the end of the year, you're probably more at like 43 to 36 bucks, and then going into January, you probably continue with this breakout move, right, all the way like who knows, but end of January, I would think you're up at like 80 to 90 bucks, pushing 100 bucks, but probably not quite there, right? Something like that. LTCN, guys, it's on the precipice of breaking out. I think truthfully, this move here with the increase in volume and everything, and the absolute lack in volume on the way back down, I think this is your breakout right now. Like you're in the midst of it. This is just your pullback in the breakout. I don't know if that makes any sense, but deceivingly so. And this is just my opinion. It looks as if you're still in this parallel range, which you still are. I mean, to be completely fair, maybe I'm crazy because you still are in this parallel range, but I think you're ready. All that to say, all I'm trying to say by I think you broke out here, all I'm trying to say really is that I think you are very ready to move up. And we've been saying that for a while, but as time keeps going on, I'm only more likely to be correct, right? We're only more likely to be vindicated here. LTCN definitely seems like it is getting ready to break out to the upside. On the weekly, it's more obvious that we broke out, right? I think it's much more obvious. This might be where I was getting that more from, that we broke out and back tested the breakout area, right? Weekly RSI looks phenomenal. Monthly RSI looks phenomenal. Let's throw a ribbon on here real quick. I'm just curious. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, glad we did this. Wait, look at that, guys. That's that. Oh my goodness. Hey, LTCN people, you should be getting excited, right? I hope you're excited because this shit. I'm sorry. This is a big deal. Pardon my language. I'm sorry. I'm really trying to watch it. This is a big deal. This is a really big deal, right? Because what you have here, okay, what you have here is a culmination of two things, right? You're getting this like bullish cross of a look on your weekly ribbon, but it's not a bullish cross. Really what this was a false bearish cross. False crosses, the only thing more bullish than a bullish cross is a false bearish cross, right? That's a false cross. That means you came down here like hell and immediately like you just consolidated up here. Once you got above this, you're not going below it. You're finding support there, man. It's so wound up. It's so tight that when this birdie flies, as I like to say sometimes, it's going to be miraculous. It's going to be stupendous. It's going to be spectacular. You're at the precipice of it right now. Look at what you did last time. You broke out here above your ribbon. You broke out above your ribbon. You pulled back and found support right on your ribbon. You pulled back and you found support right on your ribbon, you know? It seems smaller here, but you guys, I think it's going to be more fierce. I think this is setting up for something more fierce than this run itself was. And I've predicted that since before we even saw this. But, dude, what you did from there, from that low, from January 16th to this week here, that was the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 weeks in less than 2.5 months' time, or about 2.5 months' time, maybe like 12 weeks, whatever. 500, that was a 6.5x. 6.5x just from the low, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's like March, early March. I would expect you see greater results, right? Just taking it in comparison, essentially. And I do think that this move for most cryptos, I think it goes into January, we consolidate going into like February, and then March, April, we see a pump, maybe end of April, sometime in May, we do the whole sell in May, go away kind of thing, right? So I would think that going into March, going into April, you could see something that is well above $100 for LTCN. Well above $100, yeah. Because I don't think it's going to see the same growth. I think it's going to see more growth. But you guys, all I'm saying here, I'm getting distracted with my theories, right? I ran with an idea and I got away from the main point. The main point is this is bullish. This is very, very bullish behavior. Okay, like false cross. You got back above the ribbon and you're back testing it for support. And you absolutely are showing support on it already this week. Like this is really bullish, man. You're not closing below it. You opened below it, but you closed above it on the daily. It's beautiful. It looks great. You're about to reap the rewards of the seeds you're sowing right now, man. And look at this too on your monthly ribbon. It looks bearish in a sense because it is sloped to the downside, but you bled into the ribbon. You came out of it. You're not rejecting out of it, man. You're looking like you want to bleed into it and cross into it, right? If we look at the weekly for this exact same kind of idea, right? You bounced off it here, but then you bounced here. You came back into it and you bled. Look what happened. You went under the ribbon, okay? Here, you bounced here, you came back into it, you bleed, you're going to cross into it, you're going to go above it, which makes sense that you go above it if we're calling for prices that are above this high for one, and then up in that $100 and more range. Beautiful. Looks really cool. Let's go to the BCHG chart real quick. BCHG. Look at that, man. Dude, BCHG and BCH are about to get monthly crosses on their ribbons. That's going to be really bullish. Hell yeah. Weekly RSI looking good, right? Didn't have the false cross, but similar kind of look, right? Where it's just very contracted kind of band. You're not above the ribbon. BCHG is a little bit more of a bearish look, but not really. They're like the same look. If anything, LTCN does have the more bullish look, but they're basically the same look. This thing, everything that I just said for LTCN, I don't have to say it here, right? Because you can see the last time that we had this cross up and we started to expand, it brought prosperous growth. We found support here and we started to expand. It brought prosperous growth. Here we are contracting now. We were contracted here. We moved up. We were contracting here. We moved up. We were contracting now. We're going to move up. It's going to be phenomenal. I want to get rid of the ribbons, okay, because I think we've seen enough on the ribbons. Hit that like button if you like the ribbons. Subscribe if you like the ribbons. Leave a comment if you like the ribbons and you want me to do ribbons on these things more often, because I will. Maybe we don't do them enough. I didn't know that LTCN had a weekly. That's a very, anybody worried about LTCN or BCHG, those ribbons themselves, you guys should have your worries should be calmed. They should be calmed. They should be there should be no kind of, I shouldn't say qualmed, right? Qualmed would be like you have qualms over it. Anyways, enough of the semantics. We're at 735 here. You wicked way the hell down, man. 756, and look where you wicked down to. You're 236. You literally wicked down to it. This 236 comes from our overall high of this cycle to the low that we put in back in September there. You tip the 236, you're probably going to go higher. It's a higher low. You take away the fibs, it's just a higher low. That's all it was. You wicked down there, and just as fast as you went down, you came back up. No volume at all, which means that was a manipulated effort. That's like taking out anybody who's going long, stop hunting, or trapping some shorts, right? That could have been a little bear trap there too. Bouncing right off the oversold zone. Beautiful move, dude. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a good day, I think, for BCHG. You're at the base of the zone. You're going to move up to the top of the zone, right? When you were here, you moved up here. 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 That's my thoughts. You're probably going to move up to about 1255 from here. Probably that's what you're going to do. 1255 going into Christmas week. That's what's going on now. And then whenever you break out of that, I mean, unless you're there before Christmas week, right? I would assume by the end of the year, you're probably up at 16 to 19 bucks. And then going into January, we're up at 37 to 67 bucks, but I'm probably closer to that 37 to $47 area, if anything. Certainly, I would think that we're above these highs. But yeah, it looks frisky, man. Looks like it's going to pop soon. Weekly RSI looks very good. I mean, the ribbon looks good too, but the weekly RSI, this looks really poised to do well. You were finding support back on this 50 before, and you know that's what set you up to get this really bullish move here. You were consolidating for a little bit here. You've been consolidating here for a little bit. Different kind of looks, right? Different kind of reads. A lot more volume building up here. I really think that you're wound and ready to explode. I think you're going to get a week, right? You had a week a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, that was 50% up. I think we're going to see a week that's like greater than that, potentially like 100% like this week or more. 100%, 86%. 64%, stuff like that. Something that's bigger than any of these weeks here. You guys mark my words, it's coming, and it's coming soon. It's going to be like, it could be this week, it could be next week, or the week after, but sometime within these next 3 weeks, you guys, I think BCHG, all these Grayscale trusts are probably going to get a hell of a pump here very, very soon. It could be this week. We have 2 days, 16 hours left, 3 days left in this week. It could be this week. Mana for Tony P. Grayscale Trust Mana. $17.01 right now. High to low. Missing your 618, but you're consolidating around it. I wouldn't call this a rejection. Oh, maybe. I guess you went below your 0.5. Kind of a rejection. That's okay. Finding support in the right areas, but you're not getting any love off of that, are you? Let's look at the underlying asset. Mana probably keeps going down a little bit, I would think. You're at 56 cents now. You probably go down a little bit more. Hey, probably, you already found support down there. If you go lower than this low that you found at 52.7 cents, maybe you go down to about 45, 46 cents. That'd be the lowest I see you going. But I don't even know if you do that, man, because I don't think so. 50 cents. Maybe 45 to 46 cents is the lowest I could see you going, but I don't know. I guess you do. I guess that's you're going to go lower. I guess that's what I'm calling for Mana. So if Mana, Decentraland is actually going to go lower, then probably the trust goes lower too. You're at $17 now. Let's call for a move down to about $14.42. Let's call 13 to 14.42, somewhere in that area, right? Probably, and then up. I think this thing's got new all-time highs on the brain. This thing, by the end of January, could genuinely be worth like 139, 200. It could be worth more than that. A lot of growth to be had. I think it's going to do well for itself, but you never know, right? You never know. So with that, guys, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to end it there. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here very, very much. I thought that was cool. I actually want to look at this. We can do it with Mana real quick too. MA exponential ribbon here. I'll even do it. I'll throw ZCSH and GXLM on here too, just for the people that might have feel like that they were missing out. They wanted their ribbon too. Looks like you're looking like you want to cross this thing bullishly. You're not there yet. Pulling back into the ribbon is very common. And look at that, 14.92. I was saying 13 to like 14 bucks, right? That could be where you go. That might be where you go. Pulling back into it, it's very common. Here you crossed and you didn't pull back into it, but still, monthly not really there. Bullishly, it's bullishly configured. Daily's looking good as well. Yeah, daily's actually fresh. So I wouldn't think you go if you go below 1466, I wouldn't think you close any days below this ribbon. You just wick. Any prices below 1466 will be a wick, is kind of what I would assume. And if you do close a day below, it's going to be 1 day because you're going to move right back up afterwards. GXLM, let's just look at that real quick. On a daily, looking like, yeah, you're probably going to go a little lower, or you could find support right here. I mean, you really could find support right off of this. I don't know. But I feel like you would have done that 2 days ago on Monday if you would have. Weekly is crossing up, bullish, nice. Sometimes on these crosses you do pull back to the cross. I don't think you do, but just something to note. Monthly looks good too. So yeah, cool. ZCSH. The weekly's looking good as well, right? Look, you see, this is like post what BCHG and LTCN will do. LTCN and BCHG, they're like right here right now where it's all contracted, and then boom, this is that move that's gonna, you know, take you up. That was 44%. I think we're expecting a little bit more than that for LTCN and BCHG, but you can see, right? You can see the contraction. Just it's bullish. It's a bullish contraction that you're having there. Anyways, guys, I think I said everything I need to say. I don't think there's anything else we're talking about. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.